Picture the entire nation of Israel gathering at Shechem, the very place where Abraham first built an altar and heard God's promise of the land, where Jacob settled and renounced foreign gods, and where Joshua stood between Mount Ebal and Mount Gerizim to lead the people in one of the most solemn covenant renewals in their history. They came expecting unity, a new king, a fresh start. Instead, in 2 Chronicles 10, this sacred ground of promise became the birthplace of permanent division. A young king's arrogance, a group of inexperienced friends giving terrible advice, and a people pushed too far turned coronation into civil war. But here's the detail almost never talked about. The Bible doesn't just record the political blunder, it pulls back the curtain and says in black and white that the cause was of God, that the Lord might perform his word. What looked like royal stupidity was actually the sovereign hand of God quietly fulfilling the word he had spoken years earlier through the prophet Ahijah. Even the worst leadership decision in Israel's history was moving God's long-planned purpose forward. King Solomon, famed for wisdom and wealth, was gone. His golden age faded, leaving Israel at a crossroads. The throne now awaited his son, Rehoboam. In Shechem, all Israel gathered, not just for a coronation, but to see what kind of king would rise. The people, weary from years of heavy taxes and forced labor, hoped for change. Rehoboam stood before them, the legacy of Solomon both a blessing and a burden. The nation watched, anxious for a sign of hope. Would Rehoboam lighten their load or continue his father's harsh rule? The moment was pivotal. The future of Israel hung in the balance. The people's loyalty was not guaranteed, it had to be earned. The weight of expectation pressed on the new king. The golden age was over. A new era was about to begin. All eyes were on Rehoboam. Jeroboam, once an exile, now spoke for the people. He voiced the pain of the northern tribes. Your father made our yoke heavy. The people didn't demand freedom, just relief. Lighten our burden, and we will serve you, they pleaded. This was Rehoboam's chance to unite the kingdom with compassion. The crowd waited, not in anger, but in hope for a gentler king. A wise ruler would see this as an opportunity, not a threat. The future of Israel depended on Rehoboam's response. Would he listen and lead with mercy? The people offered loyalty in exchange for kindness. The air was thick with anticipation. The fate of the United Kingdom rested on a single decision. All waited for the king's answer. Rehoboam asked for 3 days to decide. He first consulted the elders, who advised, "Serve the people, speak kindly, and they'll serve you forever." Their wisdom was rooted in humility and experience, but Rehoboam turned to his young peers, who urged him to rule with an iron fist. "My little finger is thicker than my father's waist. I'll make your yoke heavier," they boasted. The elders counseled service. The young men demanded domination. Rehoboam now faced a stark choice: humility or pride. Would he win hearts or rule by fear? The advice he chose would shape a nation's destiny. 2 paths lay before him, one of unity, one of division. The weight of leadership pressed down. The moment of decision had come. The people returned, hoping for mercy. Rehoboam rejected the elders' wisdom and chose pride. He declared, "My father made your yoke heavy, I will add to it. My father disciplined you with whips, I will discipline you with scorpions." His words crushed hope and sparked outrage. There was no compassion, only a promise of greater suffering. In that instant, Rehoboam lost the hearts of his people. He mistook cruelty for strength, pride for leadership. The dream of a united, gentle kingdom died. True leadership requires humility. Rehoboam chose the opposite. His decision would haunt Israel for generations. The cost of pride was about to be revealed. The people's hope turned to rebellion. "What portion do we have in David? To your tents, O Israel," they cried, breaking from Rehoboam. 10 tribes formed their own kingdom under Jeroboam. Only Judah and Benjamin remained with Rehoboam, a fractured remnant of Solomon's empire. The united monarchy was shattered by one foolish decree. Yet this division fulfilled God's prophecy. A judgment on Israel's drift from him. Rehoboam's pride cost him nearly everything. The story leaves us longing for a better king, one who leads with humility and love. Even in failure, the story points forward to a king who would serve, not oppress. Jesus, the true son of David, would be the shepherd Israel needed. In the ruins of pride, hope for a true king remains. Are you ready for the next chapter? Just click here to go straight to it.